Episode 2 time. Turnabout Airlines. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. 2 days earlier. Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying Go-Yo Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. March 12th, 6:13 a.m. Flight G390, first floor, lounge. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight, though admittedly I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet end up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Ugh. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. He's dead! Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! What? No! You have it all wrong! It wasn't me! March 12th, 6:41 a.m. Flight G390, second floor, first class. Everyone, I am sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Teniro. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid! I caught a glimpse, and it was a murder! What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there's no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here! I'm not the killer! I simply found the body! So you say. However, I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes. I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance? To do what? A chance to plead my case? And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense, can the professional flight attendant inside you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say, but be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. What Miss Tenero saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you, standing there, with fresh blood dripping off of the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. When you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. So, for a quick explanation of things, we are in episode 2. I'm being accused of murder. Again. And, I need to debunk this testimony really quickly. I will also be using the old music, because the game has 2 soundtracks, one normal and one arranged. So, we have the thing, do we? I'm gonna save here. I'm pretty sure this is obvious. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm pretty sure that there's a problem here. Fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. You mean the wallet? Objection! Objection! Miss Tenero! What is it with you yelling all of a sudden? Ugh, force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sent a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenero. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I am the killer? I killed him with a travel wallet. I saw blood dripping from the wallet, I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained, but if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. I think I would say that it's probably wine, but this is an E10 video game for kids, so of course they're not gonna say it's wine. Then, that's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There, that should clear up that pesky accusation. Hold it! Wait just a sec! That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and they tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. Suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tanner, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright. I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. It seems that this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. When you agree... Hold it! Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Acby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet. Didn't you? How dare you! You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. That is true. Perhaps I did misconstruct the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Miss Tenero's logic. Alright, let's hear it. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How could I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Alright. I don't remember how to get through all of the points in Case 2. I did Case 1 pretty well, I just don't remember Case 2 that well. Well, I know the opening at the very least. I have to prove that the motive was not stealing money. Especially because that's a very dumb motive here, when the wallet is empty. Now, if I could just remember what the thing is. I think it's the crime scene notes, right? Objection! Objection! Stupid woman. I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tenero. What is it now? Miss Tenero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? The money? Take that! Take that! If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with this killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet... Objection! Ah, yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in Mr. Hicks was the passport. If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me! Please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Ugh. Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero. Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body, plus the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hands for a murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you for releasing me. What is it now? I can't read those. Miss Tenero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he is giving the runabout! I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant. Yes, sir? I want this person to be under arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time! You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs! I want to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I've no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I should hope I'm not monetarily bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zigglerbank II. I am a very wealthy man in Borginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout. I have to explain! Unbelievable! I will say it once, and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it, yes I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at the time was this prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. All those bottles suggest wine. I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaints, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you were quite certain what you saw. Enough to give testimony? Of course! I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with the annoying little, small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click. From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone, a laptop or organizer I could see, but that's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand! Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw! Miss Tenero. Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tenero, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved! Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha! We will see. Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable! I am in your debt, Miss Tenero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I'm still a suspect in this case. Gah! I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need any help with anything, please feel free to use Triangle to talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, first floor lounge. Alright. We can explore the area now. I only remember getting halfway through this case, and I was also stumped for a while doing that. But then again, I was in middle school. Excuse me, but may I have a word with you? You there. Ugh. If you need something, please ask Miss Rhoda over there, okay? What the? Hey, wake up, you two! I'm terribly sorry that she's being so rude, Mr. Edgeworth. No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe she's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'd see her with our salary was cut so low that it was in the red. In order to preserve the crime scene, I'm afraid the elevator is not in service. To get to the first floor lounge, we should take the stairs. The stairs? Oh, it's this way, okay. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight G390. First floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tenero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything's perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you're not making progress. And when we do, he asked that you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time is up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you could think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat. We made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing, no one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means the killer was around somewhere. If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information on your trust. Investigation time. Now, I don't remember where all the clues are going to be, but I'm going to try to figure this out. There's spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important evidence in this scene? Isn't it the tracks?
Take that!
These lines here, they obviously weren't made naturally. You're right, but how were they made then, and why are they here? I don't know yet, but I do know they're important to this investigation. Aha! What is it now, Mr. Edgeworth? I found an even more important piece of evidence in the scene. What's the important evidence? The footprints, right?
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that they're a set of footprints. So you think, yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Alright, so there's that at least. What floor is this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew key card, so the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? Alright. Let's check the body here. I wonder what was hanging off of the lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. If I could just put my finger on it. Not anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator in this flight. So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead. Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although a nuisance seems to have appeared. Anyway, should focus on the victim's body. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. Looks like this was taken inside a building somewhere. Money strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. Hold up. What's this sinister-looking figure on the floor here? Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Hugo. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell in our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition. It's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter of the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? I would want to examine the card there, but I'm guessing it's not part of the evidence. Nothing on the body you'll have to check. I think that's all I can gain from there. Everything else is strewn about. Counter windows upward look to the sky, but these clouds tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me what you suppose I said to them. I don't know, but it looks like a rather one-sided conversation. The clouds tell me nothing. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that doesn't clear up any suspicions I had about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. The store leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of woman's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great, but to me it just smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind the door. Perhaps you should return the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of Goyo Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. This is one to the left is one he was in his 40s. The other is him in his 80s. Did the man age at all over his 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. The in-flight shop is just beyond the shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so we're afraid we must leave them closed. There must be clues to be found in the lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. Glasses and candles thrown in disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know since I was unconscious for most of it. He toppled over a chair, yet another victim of the turbulence. Ah, no! Look at all the grape juice staying in the back! It may not look like it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was. Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to our plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair. I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into the CD drive. That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box. Ah, but its keys to press along with the music, as though they were really someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Okay. Did I find everything in the crime scene here? Okay, there's definitely some missing stuff here. There's something missing. No gracious residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely he takes to enter this elevator after the turbulence. Got it. I gotta think for a second. I've seen everything there is, I think, from like the evidence and such. I have pieces of logic. Is there anything I can do with them? Where was the killer? A blunt force trauma and the statue? Could it be the murder weapon? Check just to be sure. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes? What is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it! I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps the Master of the Obvious would be more befitting. Or Master of the Oblivious. So, this could be the murder weapon. Where was the killer? Not sure. I don't want to make like a bunch of risky accusations until I figure everything out. Okay, we've seen everything there is here, technically. I mean, like, unless Tenero has some testimony that can help. Potentially. I don't know for certain. But maybe. Are you in need of assistance? Tenero, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge. As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around. If you could pass a message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation. I will. However, please realize you're still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you. Of course, and I take no offense. You really understand what I'm saying? Yes, verily. Do you pinky swear you do on your honor as a professional prosecutor? I pinky swear I do on my honor as a professional prosecutor. Well, I guess that tells that. I feel my honor as a man is slowly diminishing. Did you notice anything? I was wondering whose footprints those are next to the elevator. I'd say the killer's, wouldn't you say? Even if they aren't, I'm sure they're a vital clue to solving the case. Oh, maybe there are other clues waiting to be found in other places? Come on now, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go find them together. A word of advice, nobody likes a credit thief, so stop stealing my lines! I was wondering if you noticed anything, Miss Tenero. Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here. Yes, it's rather a tragic crime. I'll say, robbing a poor man after bludgeoning him to death. Talk about robbing and assault. I believe I mentioned this earlier, but no money was stolen from Mr. Hicks. Oh, yes, you did. Sorry for the accusation. But I still insist there's something off or missing when he was in his seat. Oh? Something's missing. I can't forgive someone who would do this to a passenger of mine. I swear as a professional flight attendant that I will capture the culprit with my own hands. And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all the leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving this lies at the intersection of my logic and the evidence. So I'm guessing maybe something among the items here? Probably. Let me check the wall again. I haven't done any checking of the things here. Passport's the only thing in here, but we haven't looked at the passport. There's nothing in the thing. No money whatsoever inside the wallet. God, the zoom in and out buttons feel weird here. What about the piggy bank? It's got blood on it. Suppose this is where you insert coins. To say for a piggy bank, it's made rather well. So, in fact, I'm not sure if there's a way to take your money out. Go-Yo Airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently, and it's been bothering me greatly. But why does some brand think it's acceptable to simply smash two words together and call it a day? What about the photo? No, there's nothing to be gained from the photo. The magazine doesn't really say anything. This from the crime scene don't really say anything either. So there's that, I suppose. I feel like should be evidence missing somewhere. Looking over my things. Nothing really left on this. At least no new information to be gained here. Profiles don't tell me much still. Other than Hicks is the victim, and I know that, and the photo has Hicks in it. People are gonna get angry at me for like using saves a lot. But I don't know, I'm trying to figure things out. Let's see. Where was the killer? And also the elevator is part of it. Then again, there's also the spilled grape juice with footprints. The body was found in the elevator, so where was the killer? Somewhere was 1 or 2? I'm gonna check the elevator first just to see if it does anything. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. So were they in and then did they leave? I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. So, someone else was in the elevator at the time. we have the footprints. That's definitely part of it. Now we're just left with the glasses, with the things for logic here, so that doesn't help. But yeah, bronze statue knows not when a good trick is to spill that tea. Statue of the founder, who is a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled if he knew so much was here at his feet. Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect? Not really anything in the seat. I like this case. Well, Mr. IBigHO, I hope I do okay in this case. I don't really remember much other than when I was younger, I got to the halfway point of this case and then forgot to continue it. I also know Francisca shows up. That's about it. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. Ha. Am I not allowed to go up? I thought I would be able to, like, head back upstairs to find evidence. There's not really anything I can do with logic left, though, and there's no new evidence to locate here either. Oh, right, I can present stuff to De Niro, can't I? I guess I can ask if she knows anything about the victim. No, I can't present profiles to her. I can present evidence, though. Even if you show that to me, I still can't allow you free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit I still have my doubts about you. Guilty until proven innocent, I see. That's not part of it, though, but what about the footprints? If these footprints do in fact belong to the culprit, then I would say it was very careless to leave them. If I was a killer, I swear that as a professional killer, I'd never leave footprints behind. That's all well and good, but I'm afraid it's a little of use to pursue the killer. I feel like I'm still missing a link or two. Anything with the wallet? No, not with the wallet. The crime scene does nothing also. She's not gonna divulge info about the magazine either. Well, could she explain the piggy bank? No. So she's not going to discuss anything further with me, and I don't have much in terms of information left here. I'm trying to think, what else is here that I'm missing? Save here. Hang on a second. Let me check something. Oh, right, yeah, he's got a cell phone. I knew something about the cell phone was missing here. So... something's off because of the photo. Eureka! Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? Ahem, his cell phone, Miss Tenero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here... Yes, I think we can safely deduce the killer took it. So there's a missing cell phone here. But, oh, that's the last piece of evidence I needed. Okay, lovely. What's going on over there? Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I do not need to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there's room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine! Suit yourself! Alright. Now to pick apart Mr. LeBlanc's testimony and see if it's absolute rubbish. I apologize if I pause here and there. I may or may not eat something in the middle of what I'm doing, because I've been speaking for a long amount of time, and therefore I am getting a little long-winded here. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let's see. Hurry! Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to credit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow and fast. I'm gonna start pressing statements, probably. He says on the needles of the pocket watch pointed to 6 and 12. Let's ask about that.
Hold it!
I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, is that correct? Oh, you noticed. It's a very expensive antique, I will have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. It does look very well designed and quite classy. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. That's quite alright, so let's continue with your testimony. What a cheap man you are. Now return to the time you wasted back to me. If we must, I saw Hicks at the elevator at 6 o'clock. He says the only person in the lounge at the time. We have evidence someone else was in the lounge, right? The footprints.
Objection!
Objection! Mr. LeBlanc, could you please take a look at the piece for me? In American dollars, I say it's worth around $9.99. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Were you not intending to sell it to me? It's not for sale! I think I need to present something a bit more case-making to him. Well, that was useless. I thought this would help because this proves that someone else is in here. But evidently not. So evidently that's worthless. I'm not gonna reset yet though. Let's just press about it.
Hold it!
That's the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of. Hold it! No. You're still the opinion is what is mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken. Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. He certainly has a lot of confidence in his testimony. If push comes to stuff, I may need to press him for more information. Okay, so it's an earlier statement then, I guess. Well, let's check his earlier one since the other ones did not do anything.
Hold it!
Hold it! Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course I saw what was inside. Are you sure the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Hicks man. This is the last outburst of the pit to impart to let go. There we go. The only person inside was that Hicks man. No.
Objection!
Objection! Stupid idiots! Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes, Ed? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Ugh! There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? No way, that's totally impossible, I guess is what he said. No way, that is totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there, I saw it with my own eyes! If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right, he doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? What I saw, part 2. I believe now we have to ask about the time frame he saw them. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly to the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside, no one! Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. Alright, let's check. Time for another save, since this isn't going to be perfect. Press about the time, I guess?
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening! Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Return back to me my time, in money! You understand the point? Hold up, someone's calling me. Great. Just a moment. Right, I'm back. Alright. Movies. You're talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine. Starting to fly start time. Interesting. There was supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I check my pocket watch whenever possible, so I wouldn't miss it. I even see my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very late! Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. My watch sets to my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane. He says it's set to the destination's time. All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. Wait a second! He's saying that he sets it to the destination's time, but the movies are for the departure. Yeah, I remember this one. Objection! You stupid mother... Mr. LeBlanc, you said that just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, Ed, the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we're still running on Borginian time. What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch should be out of sync with the schedule. What? Furthermore, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. That means that if he saw the victim, he saw him 3 hours before the actual time he died. So there's a 3-hour gap for there to be more people in first class besides Edgeworth. We just proved that there are other suspects besides him. It also changes everything about your testimony. And you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it seems you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1,000,000 cents! This should clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically lines the time frame from the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim earlier and entered the elevator at 3 a.m. It means the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time? And what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yeah, I am Kemi Melee. I am a flight attendant. And what is it you wish to say? Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Kemi? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know? What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right, he pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. At the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or in Zhengfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gone on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. So basically, I could assume no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. Let's keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackley Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Alright, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you were the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then, how do we explain the footprints? It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waiting to kill him, and then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the 2nd floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here, in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? But do you have another idea? I simply feel that there's something out of place in the scenario you presented. There's something that could tie this crime to a location other than the lounge. Well, yeah, the footprints, right?
Take that!
These footprints, in which direction do you think these are headed? That would be the in-flight shop. Correct. They're headed in the direction of the shop. But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You are right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail of the stop. However, there's another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? The Captain Ugo piggy bank, right? Because it's from the shop.
Take that!
The murder weapon, this little piggy bank, is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there. It is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did this find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It didn't prove you were innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? Hold it! If I may. What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you think you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit the patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first, and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know! In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there, then? Hold it! What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Nero? It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are. You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Mr. Nero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Mr. Nero that has piqued my curiosity, but right now investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Alright. Shop time. March 12th, 8:32 a.m. Flight G390, first floor, in-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Hold on! You can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance the killer paid this visit. Begin investigation. I'm gonna make another save real quick. Alright. Such toys, just like the one Miss Mary is holding, are on display here. A relatively cheap, which explains why it is displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? What are these? Oh, this our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. Perhaps that's how things work on display, but in the real world, would you try, then buy? No way, but either way, it doesn't really matter. So either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they board the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at the Captain Ugo has printed on there. True company mascot, isn't he? It's painted on with a lot of care. Does he look like he's about to jump out at you? It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your fine face. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest in it to begin with. See, it really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? The suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda. Miss Tenero designed this. Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have very sharp design sense. Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh. Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would expect. Ah! You okay? I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Melee. My suitcase really roll around has got to be a safety violation. Heh, I'll pay it back. That's weird and We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when there's nothing going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one? I sense this shop is one shop away from being sued. The glass from the display case was shattered all over the floor. It looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. The white selected souvenirs for sale in these cases. You know what I suggest? Sorry, but I haven't no intention of buying souvenirs on the ship. Okay, then how about you buy something for me then, as a present? I can't think of a single reason why I want to buy you anything. But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time. Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, and then we'll talk. There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in the display case. And they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream "buy me" to any passers-by. There's something on here. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them. Well, you kind of stepping on a few of them, you know, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, excuse me. Can I not look at the papers down there? I feel like the thing with the stopper should be, like, kept note of. I don't know all the clues that are to, like, be wrapped in the area, though. I've got a couple. Let's see. Cell phone's missing. Do I have anything with logic that I can use here? Wait a moment. Hang on. I need to, like, figure something out with this. Well, I suppose I can ask for information. I don't know much about the shop, but you can still ask me about whatever. Do you notice anything? So what do you think about what has happened regarding the case? Oh, I don't know. I guess I think you're the killer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I can assure you that I'm here in the shop to prove just the opposite. Yeah, but it was me that got you the permission to look around. You know. So don't forget that, okay? How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep? Oh, you know what you really show your things? You see that I am for sale over there? Sorry, but you're gonna have to make do with my words of appreciation. Yeah, let's go to the test line. What's that? You gonna give it to me? Oh, but I'm not supposed to accept any presents unless they're really worth something. Huh. Only accept things if they're worth something. Miss Rhoda said this piggy bank was in the shop, right? Don't you find her a tiny bit suspicious? I don't think I can say either way, yes. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back there. Are you sure about that? Cell phone, maybe? So if they're gonna accept something, it has to be worth something. I don't know if that actually helps the case, though. If anything, really. I want to check, like, the bottom of the thing here, but I can't. I know it's there, though. It's an obvious-looking thing to pay attention to. God, this is the annoying part where I have to figure out what is connected to what. And I'm gonna assume it's a logic thing here. It's showing a bit too loud in the suitcase. I want to check if the suitcase and this are connected. Nope. Maybe the glasses on the suitcase? Nope. The hat and Ugo, just because they're the same mascot. There we go. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from the display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Eh? Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in the shop. Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So, come on, how should I know anything? I sense that further inspection of the display case is needed. Well, that was a waste of a few attempts, but sure. What the... Glass on the door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. Ah! What is it? I touched the glass and it cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth, it hurts! Please tell me you could deal with such a minor cut on your own. For security, there's a lock on the display case. If I may ask about the lock. The one who's in charge of the shop is Rhoda, so she's got the keys to all the display cases. I see. Oh, I bet you want to buy something. You want me to get the keys from her? No, that's alright. Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues on the elevator? Yeah, that's a paperweight the founder of Go-Yo Airlines, Mr. Ugo Hughes. On the bottom shelf, we have the cute one. The middle shelf is the realistic one. And on the top shelf, that's the floral version. Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. We're on Go-Yo bookline the shelf. The history of Go-Yo Airlines, future, 7 wonders of Go-Yo, fire on Go-Yo Airlines. Working name, Go-Yo Airlines. Yo-Go-Yo. That would make it clear they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. Interesting. making another save here really quickly just because I wasted time trying to figure that out. Evidently I'm missing something on this. If I could figure out what it is I'm missing and check on this, that'd be nice. I can't tell what exactly is missing in terms of like what hasn't been checked. Do I have any new logic pieces? Maybe the glass in the suitcase, I don't remember. No. Definitely not this. I'm loading the save here. I'm getting like annoyed trying to figure out these extra things here. It's taking a second. I feel like it's telling me about the thing I've already noticed again. Because I already got the thing about someone saying that they like the case already. I don't know why it's retelling me the same information. Anything. I don't really know about anything being missing here. God, I'm losing track of everything. This is annoying. Jesus. I don't know if there's anything that's really like suspicious in any of this. Probably not. Books on the inside, I have no idea what to say about those. Rather clearly shown. God, this is definitely an awkward thing of like I consider thinking about. You should care about the thing once I have the or I guess I can ask about the shop now. Because my finger on those bad pieces of glass. Don't blame the glass for something you did to yourself. Just be more careful. Same to you. You're the one walking all over blown from glass. You sure you're okay? I'm fine. Any glass I walk on, I crush. Like this! That's nice. Please be careful around the display case, okay? Won't want you to get hurt. Compared to the glass around my feet, the inside of the case is nothing to be afraid of. After all, no glass fragments appear to have ended up inside. Then I guess even you can tie up the case, right? Perish the thought. So the fact that glass is not inside, so does that mean that no one broke it? So I said the sticky bag was in. Okay, well she asked the same thing regardless of whether or not the hat was on it, so it doesn't matter. Is this where the...
Eureka!
There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get the Captain Ugo bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. Wow, I wasted a lot of time on that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope, there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at the time, too. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Ugo bank from here after the turbulence. Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Melee, and listen when I'm talking. What? But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon. So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point that is a very real possibility. But then what if the killer went to take Captain Ugo? They broke the glass by accident? The display case was locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's the one person who could have. Oh, and who would that be? Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? Okay. That just leads to another thought. Did turbulence break the glasses? Or is it that the turbulence has something to do with the suitcase? What I don't know is, oh, did the turbulence break because of the... Did the glasses break because of the turbulence? But no, it's talking about the stuff, so it's probably the suitcase, right? Yes, there's definitely something wrong here. What's with the sudden yelling? Tell me, Miss Minnie, don't you think there's something strange about the suitcases? Oh, well, sure, they totally ooze strange, like the color and such. That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention! You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper. Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Melee. Don't you find it unusual the cases are the only thing undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting the suitcases. Finally. They really are quite hideous. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she'd heard what you said. What's wrong? She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something not quite right. What's so unusual about the suitcase? The blood, duh.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels. Huh? As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying. And so it is very likely the suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a look at it, shall we? What's this? The wheel is completely covered in something. There's color in the scent. It appears the substance in question is grape juice. But why would there be grape juice on the wheel of a suitcase? It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood. It's blood! It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all. Yes, I'll take back my HP, thank you. So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder? I believe it's pretty unsafe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner, such as to move something perhaps. But aren't you just talking about the cloth then? That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used the suitcase to transport is... I can't present profiles. I can't transport the body, right? Maybe the body? I'm dumb. Maybe the body.
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? But, in light of this, I say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location. So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it? Exactly. What is it? Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he's allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop tonight, I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together. I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Melee reminded me about Miss Narrow, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. To be continued. Now, I'm gonna save here. This case is certainly longer than the previous ones and such, or at least it's taking longer than the first one, which is to be expected. Because of that, however, I will be pausing the stream for the time being, and we will return after I've had time to like eat and such and things of that nature, because I do kind of want to continue playing. But we will return afterwards. Gives a bit of time for everyone to relax. So hopefully I will be back with you guys again after a wait. How long are we into the stream anyways? Yeah, we're an hour and 30 minutes in, so quite a while. I will resume the stream again sometime soon, but for now this is going to be the stopping point. I might resume this later this evening. I don't know.